You said it's mainly used for graphic design, right?
Yes.
So what do you understand by the word graphics? Because these are some of the things we need to understand before we can actually know the essence of this program.
Graphic is graphic design is how do I explain it now? Bringing some imagination into reality, like designing of maybe example flyer, brochures, flyers, designing some jobs, maybe for adverts and etc.
Okay, you actually tried because why I wanted us to know what these key terms are because these aspects we are entering, it is important to understand what is graphic because I will often be using it. And then we also know what is called design because when you combine them together, graphics designing, they have their individual meaning before they are joined together. So when you join them together, you are actually portraying a message. So graphics itself has its own meaning from design. So let's start by looking at the definition of Coreldraw before we look at these key terms. So Coreldraw is a vector graphics. Coreldraw is a vector graphics. Coreldraw is a vector graphics editor. It's a vector graphics editor. Coreldraw is a vector graphics editor. So there are two keywords that I use there. The word vector and the word editor. The word vector and the word editor. The word vector actually means shapes. Shapes. While editor is like an application that helps you to draw those shapes. So when I said Coreldraw is a vector editor, it means that it is an application that helps you to draw shapes. So just to continue with the definition, I said Coreldraw is a vector editor software to create that allows users to create and edit vector graphics that allows user to create and edit vector graphics vectors graphics like logos, icons, and other graphical elements like logo, icons, and other graphical elements. Are you with me?
Mm.
So that is the simple meaning of Coreldraw. Now, I said an other graphical element. The additional note, it is a popular tool for graphic designers. It is a popular tool for graphics designer, artists, both are artists and illustrators. It is a popular tool for graphic designers, artists and illustrators. So now let's quickly discuss the key features of Coreldraw. The key features of Coreldraw. Number one, vectors graphics. Let's quickly know what is vector graphics, like we mentioned in the definition. Vector graphics. So just to explain that, Coreldraw uses vector shapes Coreldraw uses vector shapes. So vector shapes are shapes that does not lose quality. They are like raw shapes, shapes that are sketched by users. You know, if I send you an image of my design instead of sending you the vector version of it, by the time you open it from your end, you try to re-edit it, the image will lose, the design will lose quality. Like this design that I have on my screen now, web development, for example now. If I send it to you, this is what I have already designed. If I send it to you and you want to edit it, it will lose quality. That is because it becomes a raster image. It's no longer a vector shape. Do you understand that? So that is what Photoshop actually focuses on. Photoshop focuses on raster design, while Coreldraw focuses on vector design. So you need to understand what we are talking about. So we're talking about shapes, raw shapes. For example, now you can create a rectangle for illustration. You can create a triangle for an illustration. So all of that falls under vector. All of that fall under what? Vector. So that is why we are saying that one of the key features of Coreldraw is that vector graphics, which means Coreldraw uses vector shapes, which are made up of lines and curve defined, which are made up of lines. So these shapes are made up of lines and curves. That is actually what we are talking about when we say vectors graphics. So you see a lot of graphic designer out there that can say they are raster graphics designer. It's different from him or her that will say, I'm a vector graphics designer. A vector graphic designer is somebody who specializes on illustration using shapes, constructed shapes, and these shapes are formed with lines and curves. That is what qualifies them to be vector graphics designer. That is the strength of Coreldraw. And that's why you see that it is mostly used out there in business center, in printing press. Because when it comes to shape, because these days people, illustrate concepts. People illustrate idea more with shapes than pictures. Photoshop. It means that initially that program was designed for manipulating photos. It was later on when Apple system could not use Coreldraw, even up to now. You cannot install Coreldraw in Apple system. I don't know why they have been fighting right from time. So a lot of graphic designer then complained to Apple that we are designer, but your device cannot accept the application we use for designing, which is Coreldraw. So that was what led to Photoshop now start developing a higher version that begin to have graphic design compatibility. So that is one of the key features of Coreldraw. Let's look at another key feature. Remember, the first key feature I mentioned is vector graphics, and I've expatiated on that, dealing with shape or drawing shapes using lines and curves. Now, the next one is illustration tools. That is another key feature of Coreldraw. When we say feature, we are also talking about the characteristics, some of the things that makes it up. Illustration tools. So how do we explain that as a key feature of Coreldraw? The software provides a range of illustration tools. The software provides a range of illustration tools, including drawing, shapes, lines, and curve. The software provides a range of illustration tools, including drawing shapes, lines, and curve. So we are going to see it when we start dealing with some of the practical aspects. You see how we will easily say, okay, we want to illustrate a circular object. We will now draw a circle. We want to illustrate a rectangular structure. We will use a rectangle. So there are more flexible tools in Coreldraw for demonstrating creativity. And that is why the order of learning this field called graphics design is that you start with vector graphics. That is why you are starting with Coreldraw, and then you upgrade to raster graphics using Photoshop. So Photoshop is considered to be a kind of higher dimension. That is, this time around now, your focus is not really much on communicating with only shapes and drawing or lines. Your focus is now using pictures, background to illustrate. So that is the illustration capability we're talking about as one of the key features. So it provides us a lot of tools, just like you can see here, yet to be activated once I get to the aspect of setting up the working environment. So there are a whole lot of tools that can help you to actually demonstrate creativity. Let's take another key feature. That is the third one now. Number 3, typography. That is another key feature of Coreldraw. Typography. Typography. And what does that term mean? Coreldraw offers advanced typography features. Coreldraw offers advanced typography features, allowing user to create and edit text elements. Allowing users to create and edit text elements. Allowing users to create and edit text elements. So that is what we mean by typography. It's derived from the word text. Typo, that's typing. So there are a lot of tools we can use to write text and also modify them to be presentable. So let's look at the fourth key feature before we move to the next topic. Color management. That is another key feature of Coreldraw. Color management. Color management. So what does that really mean? The software include color management tools. The software include color management tools. The software include color management tools, enabling users to work with a wide range of colors. Enabling users to work with a wide range of colors and color profiles. And color profiles. So this color profile is just like a palette.
Enabling users to do what?
Enabling users to work with a wide range of colors and color profile. So the profile here represents a palette, just like a container of color that you could just call, and then you have probably the desired colors embedded in it. Is that clear?
Yes.
So let's quickly look at some of the uses of Coreldraw, uses of Coreldraw, so that you are learning, you know, okay, what aspects I am expected to use Coreldraw. Uses of Coreldraw. Number 1, graphic design, like you said the other time. This is one aspect that is much applied. Graphic design, that is number 1 under the uses of Coreldraw. So just to explain a little, Coreldraw is widely used for graphic design tasks. Coreldraw is widely used for graphic design tasks. is mostly used for graphic design tasks. Are you following? I said is widely used for graphic design what? Tasks,
Yes.
such as creating logo, brochures, posters, banners, handbill, ID card, so many other graphics work that can be done with Coreldraw. A whole lot of them. Another application of Coreldraw is illustration. Illustration.
Number two.
Yeah, number two, under the uses of Coreldraw, number two, illustration. Illustration, which means that the software is popular among illustrators and artists. These people that arts, so that can draw human being or sketch an illustration that actually carry a lot of messages. So the next one is
Illustration.
sign
Sorry,
illustration.
illustration. What did you explain for illustration?
Under illustration, I said the software is popular among illustrators. The software is popular among illustrators and artists. So these people use Coreldraw much. That is what we are saying. There are people that know how to, draw objects that can be used for illustration, and then the so-called artists. So they use Coreldraw much in their field. So let's look at the next one, which is number three, sign making. Sign making. Sign making, that is like signboard. People who make signboard. Okay. So sorry about that. So I'm talking about what? Sign making. Sign making. So what do we actually mean by sign making? We are talking about people who make a signboard. Sign making, right? Under that sign making. Coreldraw is used in sign making industry. Coreldraw is used in sign making industry to create signs, banners, and other visual displays. To create signs, banners, and other visual display, So the last application I have here, which I want to explain, is digital arts. Digital art. This is another aspect where Coreldraw is fully used. Digital arts. And how do we explain that? The software can be used to create digital art. The software can be used to create digital art, such as illustration, graphics, and other creative work. And other creative work. And other creative works. Is that taken? So let's quickly round up this topic with benefits of Coreldraw. Benefits. So for those of us that use Coreldraw for vector graphics, what do we stand to benefit compared to raster graphics? Under the benefit, number one, scalability. Scalability. Under that, number one is scalability. Scalability. What does scalability means? Right, vector graphics created in Coreldraw. Vector graphics created in Coreldraw can be scaled up. Can be scaled up. That is what you can remeasure it. You can readjust it. That is the meaning of that. Can be scaled up or down without losing quality. This is one of the key benefits of using Coreldraw for graphics design. Like we said, it is used mainly for vector graphics. So this was exactly what I was trying to explain the other time. So that is one of the benefits. Let's look at this. The next benefit of Coreldraw, precision. To be precise, precision. 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 The software provides precise control. The software provides precise control over shapes. That is, you can control your shape. There are nodes attached to each of these shapes that can enable you to control it effectively. Provide precise control over shapes, comma, lines. So you can manipulate your line the way you want it. Very flexible. And curves. You can easily curve objects. I said precision. The software provides precise control over shapes, lines, and curve. So let's look at the last benefit I want to discuss. There are a whole lot of benefits, but I just want to capture the main ones, and then we'll move on. Flexibility. That is number 3 benefits of Coreldraw. Flexibility.
Number 4.
That is no, not number 4. Under the benefit, the
Number
first,
3.
yeah, number
Okay.
3, yes. Number 3 is flexibility. Flexibility. So what does that mean? Coreldraw offers a range of tools and features. Coreldraw offers a range of tools and features, comma, making it a versatile software for various design tasks.
A
Making it
range of tools and words.
features, comma, making it a versatile software for various design tasks. So that is the flexibility. For the
Making it
past
versatile for
various design tasks. So for the past 15 to 16 years that I've been using Coreldraw, starting from Coreldraw 8.0 to Coreldraw 9.0, 10.0. Now we are in the era of S version, Coreldraw S3, Coreldraw S4, Coreldraw S5, Coreldraw S6, S7. Now we have 2019, 2020. I have found out that Coreldraw is very flexible, is very user-friendly. That is why most graphic designers prefer using Coreldraw. It's just of nowadays graphic designers that tend to skip Coreldraw and jump to Photoshop. For those people that started graphic design in the past 10 to 15 years, most of them, they use Coreldraw most because that was the only main graphics app then. Now, because today, most of the graphics we do, they are more or less infographics. That is where somebody will just use a picture, go to Google, download a fantastic background that is already communicating what he wants to say, and then just do some write-up on it, and that is all. That is kind of graphics that is reigning now, infographics. People are no longer trying to demonstrate creativity much because on the internet, there are a lot of designing elements. So there are some design you will see, you may be thinking that is it a graphic designer that actually sat down to manufacture those pictures. No, every graphic designer knows where to find resources. In fact, there are templates now. There are templates everywhere now. So once you have the basic knowledge, you can just buy templates online, and templates for designing ID card, templates for designing banner, templates for designing any type of design that is trending. It's just for you to be editing, substituting different information, touching some aspect of it, and then converting it to your own design. So what is the take home here before we go into the next topic? Out of the topic you wrote down, how many of them have I touched now? Because I have to write down the topic I want to cover in this section.
What is you said application of Coreldraw?
Good.
How to load
No,
Coreldraw?
we have not done that. I think that is where we are now. That
Yes.
is where we are now. But before we go into that, I want to chip in something. So you should write it as note also. It's a topic on this. I just want you to know that this is required. So characteristics of designer. Characteristics of designers. So for you to say you are designer, this is not just graphic. We have fashion designing, we have graphic designing, and so other. All of them that require design. We have web design. All these apply creativity. You cannot be a web designer without being creative for developing the front end. UI, UX. You must have been hearing all this. UI, UX. That is user interface and user experience what designer. All these they are fields that relate to what creativity. These are simply demonstration of concept, creativity concept. These are creativity driven personnel. So anybody that is learning any program that is applied in design, being it graphic design in this case now, one of the characteristics that what they must be creative. Under the characteristics, you write a graphic designer must be creative. In other words, they are always creative. Must be creative. The number two characteristics of designer or graphic designer, number two, is that they know how to calculate color or combine colors in their design. We call that color combination. It's a skill that you need to have as a graphic designer. You must know how to combine colors. You must know friendly color. You must know color that support themselves. You must know whether black and yellow goes together in a design. You must know whether red and blue goes together. These are the calculations that are involved. You don't just come up with design. So every graphic designer you see, they are very good or they are mindful of the color they use. Now, number three characteristics of a graphic designer is that they know how, they have a structural skill. They have structural skill, structural or layout. You can just write structural skill. Let me explain it so that you know what I mean by structural skill. Structural skills means that they know how to plan the arrangements of their design elements or property. They will know, okay, this one should be here, that one should be here, this one should be here. The placement of all the information they are embedding on their design, they are very good at it. So it's a skill set you need to have as a graphic. You must know how to structure your design. For example, if I want to design handbill, I should know the structure I want to use. Whether the company name will come first, followed by the service picture, followed by the list of the services, and then followed by the contact information. So that is a structure, a design, a layout planning. So it is one of the skill that this set of people exhibits, structural skill. Now, actually, you are supposed to have a printing skill, but printing is a different field. Graphic designer, they are marketers or printers. Printers, they don't come out most time to say, we have a place where you can print. The leverage on this graphic designer, if you can target 20 graphic designer in a location and tell them that I have a printing press, you have done it all because they are the one that will sort out the customer. They are the one the customer contact. And most time, the customer does not even know where they go for the printing. most time if the customer know, you see a customer coming direct because people that does printing, they subsidize the price for them. So they will charge customers certain amount, and then they will come to the printing press. Printing press will now reduce the price for them to make profit. So sometimes they don't like showing the customer the printing press. So that is what you should bear at the back of your mind as you learn Coreldraw. Now, but remember that the Coreldraw we are learning is DTP Coreldraw. So which means that the intro and the basic of Coreldraw and Photoshop. So we have Coreldraw Advanced and Photoshop Advanced. That is when it no longer be just called a Coreldraw. It will now be called graphic design. That is where we will go deeper to applying or creating concepts that will be more meaningful. But I will try my best to see if I can take us to probably intermediate. Then I will now see the way you are faring with intermediate to know whether you can be recommended for advanced graphic design, because there are some persons that the advanced may just be too much for them. So you just advise them to grow gradually. So now, let's go to the next topic, which is how to access Coreldraw on the system. We'll spend more time talking about it. How to access Coreldraw. I hope that should be the next topic, right? How to access Coreldraw. So how do we access Coreldraw on our system? So I've already opened mine. So for you to access Coreldraw, there are two ways, just like we know how to access other programs. Is either you access it through the program shortcut. What I'm saying is that in case you have, let's us say you have it already installed and the shortcut is on your user interface like this. So you can just double click on it and then it will open. Now we have trial versions that are cracked. That's the reason why I opened mine down before I activated my internet. So in case you are running the cracked version, not the licensed version, anytime you want to start it, you turn off your internet, and then after starting it, you can turn on your internet. Otherwise, if you try starting it while your internet is on, the .NET, there is a software that spy, that tests the vendors that somebody is running a trial version. We send your program ID to them, and then they will terminate the usage. So if you have the icon like this, you simply double click on it. Now, in a situation where you don't have the icon program on the user interface, which other way can I use? You go to the start button as usual, and then from there, you go to all program, or go to all program, then go to C section. You can see, like I told you before now, that in this particular domain, all the programs have been sorted alphabetically. So you can see, you go to C, Coreldraw. From there, you see Coreldraw Suite. Why is called Coreldraw Suite? Because there are other subordinative softwares that are there. Now, if I don't understand Photoshop, I can do some of those things I go to Photoshop to do under what? Coreldraw what? Paint. So there are a lot of software, but the main one is what? The Coreldraw, which is this one. Okay, so it's either you access it through the icon or you go through the start button, and then you can even come here and just search for it direct. If you don't want to waste time scrolling, just come here, click here, then type Coreldraw. By the time you type it, it will pop it out. So I don't know whether you have launched your own already.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's assume that topic is sorted out, so you can just summarize your step. Now, what is the next topic from the plan? What is the next topic?
Coreldraw interface application. I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing
Can
you.
you hear me now?
I'm not hearing you. Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, so I was talking about that sometime in the past, I said every application software provide us an interface for managing it. When we were in Word, you saw how we took our time to explain all the parts that makes up what? Microsoft Word environment. The same thing to Excel and PowerPoint. So when we say Coreldraw interface, we are talking about the whole of this environment you are seeing right now as I opened it. So it is structured in a way that it aligns with the purpose of creating it. So let's just have a proper definition for it. Right. All application software provide users interface to users. All application software provide user interface to users. Provide user inter.
Sorry, all application what?
All application software provide users interface. Provide users
Mm-hmm.
interface. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, now, and the essence of that interface that is provided is for us to be able to manage that app. So when you say you understand Coreldraw, it also means that you know how to work around it. So there are times somebody could just ask you, can you work on Coreldraw environments? That is a technical question. Are you familiar with Coreldraw environments? Instead of telling you or asking you, can you use Coreldraw? It's the same thing the person is saying, because you cannot claim you can use Coreldraw and you are not familiar with its what? Environment. So that is why this topic that I'm taking is very necessary, because this topic, I am going to be explaining different parts that makes up Coreldraw environment, so that when we start designing, we will know where to consult a tool or a function to solve a particular problem. Just like you are seeing now, you can see colors here already. You are seeing colors here. So that section that constitutes the color is part of the environment. So somebody might not know that, oh, if I need color after creating an object, this is where I should come. And that does not mean that this is the only place where you can actually what? Access color. So now let's quickly start identifying Coreldraw Windows feature. That is a subtopic now under that topic. Coreldraw Windows features identification.
So
Corel
what you explain in Coreldraw interface is just an application software. All application software provide users interface.
Yes. So which means that this environment we are seeing now is Coreldraw user interface, which we want to start identifying all the parts and knowing their roles. That is what brought about that topic that I just gave you now. That's what Coreldraw Windows features identification. So we want to start picking them one after the other and learning what their roles are. So that will enable us to be familiar with the environment. So whenever we are working in Coreldraw environment, we will have a broader understanding of what each of these parts can offer us. Have you written that? Have you written that? Network? I don't think you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me, right?
Working.
The network is breaking. Am I good now? God, no.
Yes.
Okay, okay. All right, all right. So like I was saying, let's start taking this part one after the other. Let's start with the first part, the application title bar. So you can just write this note briefly before we start taking them. Just write, Coreldraw interface can be broken or divided into different sections. Coreldraw interface can be broken or divided into different sections. Coreldraw interface can be broken or divided into different sections. Have you written that? Can give me. Look, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you. I don't know where the issue is coming
Yes. Okay.
from.
So I noticed while I was talking, you were not answering, so I decided to restart the network. But you can hear me.
Is it from your side?
I think so. I think
Yeah,
so.
I'm hearing you.
Okay. All right. So what was the last topic? What was the last sentence I gave to you?
That it can be broken or,
Okay,
or
can be
divided
broken into
into
different.
different.
Okay, I think like even your network is a bit disturbing also. I think he also. Okay, now so let's start identifying this part. Let's start identifying this part. Number one, the application title bar. Number one, the application title bar. The application title bar. But let's quickly do something before we start identifying this section. We have not actually fully gotten to the working environment. So the whole of this space we are now is called the startup page or the startup or get started environment. So this is where we are landed as we try opening the program. But this is not where we should work. So let me just show us how we can get to the main working environment before we can start identifying these features so that you can see that they are not active just because you have not properly gotten to the main working environment. So you have to click on new what? Document. So from new document, it will pop you a dialog box. So from this dialog box, you specify the name of your document, probably based on what you want to do. If I want to design, let's just say designing, or let's say design, then you choose the preset destination. The preset destination is talking about different already made environment that you want to go. So all this you are seeing now amount to giving you different what type of environment as already made destination. So we can use the custom or we use what the Coreldraw default. You can use any of them. And the one you choose actually determine the way the environment will be structured. So there are some features that will come with a particular template. So on your own, you can take time to go through them and see some differences. So, but like I said, I am recommending custom and what Coreldraw what default. Now, the size of the paper, the size of the paper. So as you are going in, if you have an idea of your design size, if it's going to be part of the conventional design. When I say conventional design, these are designs that are globally known to be a certain size. For example, now, ID card has a unique size. Everybody know that ID card, if it is portrait, it is 2.0 by 3.5. If it is landscape, it becomes 3.5, become 3.5 by 2.0. That is if the ID card is like a landscape. Okay, so A4 paper sizes, these are conventional sizes, A3 and the rest of them. So if you are dealing with such paper, you can come here directly and pick it. You can come here and pick it. So let's say you want to design and you have already know that it's going to be A5. So you can just select A5. A5 is the handbill. This handbill that is here, that is A5. So there could be a customized one, a smaller one. That is where become customized. That is what you are deviating from what is known out there conventionally to your own size. So design is about working with conventional sizes and working with what? Customized sizes. Okay, so now the moment I choose the size, it automatically measures it, the width and the what? The height in millimeter. So you need to know the units you are using for your design. So I will just give you some standard recommendation. If you are designing anything that will be printed on paper, you are advised to use what? Inches. You are advised to use inches if it's going to be printed on paper material. Then if it's going to be printed on flex, that is what they use to print a banner, all those large format printing, then you are advised not to use you can use feet, you can use yard, then you can use what? Pixel. Okay. Now, once you choose this, you will see the equivalent what? Conversion in that particular unit you pick. Now, how many pages do you want to add at the same time as soon as it takes us to the working environment? Number of pages. Okay, maybe if what I want to design we actually spread across 4 pages, so I can decide to say, okay, let me just add the 4 pages at the point of setting up the document. I can set up the document with just 1 page. Then when I get to the working environment, there is a tab that I can always use to add more pages. I don't know if you are following me. Okay.
Yes.
Now there is also what we call orientation. Orientation. Orientation means the mode of your document presentation, whether it's going to be vertically placed or horizontally what? Placed. So you need to also check every paper size you choose can be presented in both what? Orientation. I can have A4 landscape. I can have A4 what? Portrait. So bear that in mind.
Portrait.
So for the fact that you have chosen the paper size does not mean that you should not consider your orientation. So I can click here now. You can see as I click here, this value changes, they switch. What I was having before for width changed to what? Height, because I switched. So if I come here now, it's also what? Switch over. Now, rendering resolution. As a graphic designer or user of Coreldraw, it is very important you understand what is called rendering resolution. Resolution means the display quality, That is why when you want to use images for your design, always ensure that they have very high resolution. You know, even the camera you use, your phone, there are some phones that when you use them to snap an object, once you zoom the object once, it becomes blur. I don't know if you have witnessed that. Once you zoom small, the object will become blur. While there are some objects that can be snapped with some phone, you will zoom. All right, so I was still
So
explaining.
I should resend my recording. Will we continue with the other one?
Is it still okay? That means it shut you down before, right?
Yes.
So if it shut you, all right.
Yes.
So this was where we were before the network cut you off. Now I was at this particular stage here, which is rendering resolution. I was emphasizing on the importance of considering your resolution when you are setting up an environment for your design, like we are doing now. Now, the resolution, like I was saying, actually determine the quality of the outcome of your design. If you are designing an item that will be printed on a very large, material, you need to consider very high resolution. Now, that DPI you are saying represent depth per inches. Depth per inches. That means resolution is measured by what? The height, the depth. Okay? So that is why sometimes when somebody send a design that he or she has done for you digitally, and you open it as an image. By the time sometimes you'll be struggling seeing some of the images that he used. The images are not clear, or the write-up are blurred. Once you zoom it, everything is blurred. That is the kind of design that was done without proper consideration of resolution setting. Now, the way it works is that the higher the number, the lower the resolution. So which means that which one is the highest resolution here?
300.
No, I say the higher the number, the lower the resolution. So which one is the highest resolution among these preset values?
Those things are tiny.
It will be 72.
72.
72.
72.
Good. Good.
My
So,
network
but the
was loud
average,
before.
the average we use for most design is 150 and 100. 150, most graphic designer uses 150 and 100. 150 and 100. And 300 as well. That is why the program programmed that 300 as default, which is one of the most used resolutions. So I can just work with it. Then after that, I will click OK. So once I click OK now, you will now notice that it will now take us to the environment. So we just finally got to Coreldraw interface now. All these things are now active now. You can see most of
Okay,
the
you have
things.
to set those things before you get to the interface.
Yes, exactly. If you don't set those things, you will not have an interface like this. That is why I have to pause and take us back so that we can have a proper environment before we start explaining those features that I wanted to explain. So now we are here now. This is the Coreldraw interface. This is the Coreldraw user environment. We want to start identifying. So going back to that topic now, where I said Coreldraw features identification, right? Coreldraw environment features identification. I know we have written down something like that.
Coreldraw Windows identification.
Good. Coreldraw window features. You did not add the word feature. Coreldraw window features identification.
Okay.
Have you taken that?
Yes.
Now, remember before I said Coreldraw interface is broken into different parts, right? Now, example of those features. Number one, application title bar. I'm starting from here. This is the
Mm-hmm.
number one feature we want to identify. The application title bar. The application title bar. I hope you can see the area I am navigating at, right?
Mm.
Good. Now, by definition, the application title bar convey the name of the app, the architecture of the app, and the name. Let me rename them, list them again. The application title bar convey or display the name of the app, the architecture of the app, the name of your design, and the control buttons. The name of your design and the control button. Now, you will not pay attention to the screen. Let me verify all these that I mentioned. So I want you to look at this now. I just want to qualify those things that I mentioned that can be located on the application title
Please,
bar.
can you just read that line again?
I said the application title bar convey or display the name of the app, the architecture of the app, the name of your design, and the control buttons. Have you taken that? And the control what?
Yes.
Button. Now, I want to pay attention. I want to identify those things you mentioned or that I mentioned. Now, look up. This section, this is where I have information about the name of the app. What's the name? Coreldraw, right?
Coreldraw.
S8. Now, this place that you are seeing 64 bits, that is what represents the architecture. We have 32 bits and 64 bits. So which means that this one is a higher version. It is Windows that runs 64-bit operating system that is running this. That is what it means. So this 64-bit was actually made for Windows that runs 64-bit operating system. So if I want to know, if I go to my Window Explorer now, this file now to show you how because if you want to install Coreldraw, you need to know whether it's 64-bit version or 32-bit version. And that is determined by the architecture of your window. So how do I check my window architecture? If you click on this file explorer, which is this folder, and then it open up your computer, you will see this PC. So from this PC, right click on this PC, select what? Properties. Then you will know whether your system is running 32-bit or 64-bit. Just hold on for a moment. You can see it here. Can you see it now? 4-bit. Now, that is the reason why the Coreldraw you are running is indicating what? 64-bit, which means that the version that the window is 64-bit. That's why you install Coreldraw version that goes with this window architecture. Is that clear? All right. Now, this design, what does it represent? Remember when we were setting up the document, remember the first box, I type what? Design as the name of what I am doing. You still remember when we were setting up that document, there was a place where I typed design as the name of what I want to do. Now is also displaying it. Now, if you check this button here, you can see all this. These are what I'm calling control button, which you also have across other programs like Word, Excel. This one is to minimize it. Why this one is to reduce it. Why this one is to close it. So these are the things that you have on the title bar. Is it clear now so that I can go to the next section?
Yes.
Good. Number 2, feature. So we have just identified one section, one feature of Coreldraw. The second feature I want to identify is the tabs bar. The tabs bar. The tabs what? Bar. Now, what is a tab bar? Look at this. Where you have file, where you have edit, where you have view, down to where you have help. The whole of this part is called what? The tabs bar. In other words, is a bar that is holding different tabs. So what are tabs? All these container that contain different function. As you touch them, they are called tabs. Even in Word, Excel, we have tabs, right? So I want us to see these tabs as different rooms where you can consult function when you are working. Do you understand that? So for example, I want you, okay, you are taking notes of something. Go ahead when you are through.
Like this is different rooms.
Yes.
You can get your working tools.
Yes, exactly. Now, I want to illustrate something. This is a tool. I just click on it, and then I hold down, I'm holding down the left button on my keyboard, on my mouse, and I'm dragging. So what have I done now? I have created what? A circular object or an oval shape, right? If I want to give this shape color, I will come to this place where I have color. So I have been able to give it what? Color. Now, if I want to make another copy of this, I will consult what? Edit. Can you see the way I'm consulting the tab now? Because I want to duplicate it. I will now say what? Copy. Now, I want to paste it. I will now go back to that same edit and select what? Paste. So I have two of them now. If I move this one out now, you see that what? I have been able to what? To duplicate the shape. How did I do that? I consulted what? The tab called edit, and then I was able to access what? Two different functions. Copy first, followed by what? Paste. Do you understand that? So what I did now is just to explain to us that we need to value these tabs. We need to make sure that we know the solution they offer when you are having challenges. And as we'll be working, that is the best way you can learn them, because as we'll be doing different practical, at some point you will see us coming here to do one thing. You take note of where did he go when he wanted to do this, not just looking at the outcome, so that when you want to do it, you will know, okay, the last time he was doing it, he went to what? Edit, and then from edit, he selected what? Copy first, and then went back and selected what? Paste. So these are part of the
Yes.
things you have to be learning. Okay, so I've just
But
explained.
you get this circle. You get this circle under
Yes, whether I got it,
this circle for the first time.
yes, I got it from here, from the toolbox. This is where I click, and then I held down the left button on my mouse, and then I open it up. No color. So I now switch to where I can access color and now add color to it from here. Do you understand it? Then to create another copy of it, I have now selected it first, and then I went to
Editing.
edit, then click on what? Copy. Then I went back again and selected what? Paste. Now I moved it out. So that is how I make the two shapes. I believe that is clear,
Yes.
right? Is it clear?
Yes. Yes.
Now,
Yes.
now, you know you are going to go through the video. So most of these things will be your assignment. You replicate it. Now, I still want to consult the menu one more time so that it will be solidified in your mind that truly all these tabs, they provide solution to challenges a designer could be having. Now, I want to show you something. You are busy? Shall I wait?
I want to. Yeah, I want to plug the system down.
Okay, now I want to do something else, which I expect you to do before the next class. I just to prove to you that truly all these are container. They are different rooms that offers us solution to challenges we could be facing while we are acting. Now, look at what I want to get here. You see, this is the shape I want. This shape, this is what I want. But
Mm-hmm.
it is full cycle. You know, I told them before that what graphic design is about what? Creativity. It's about the power of imagination. It's about you seeing before you actualize. So you must capture a concept in your imagination realm. Then you will now say, okay, I need a tool that can give me function to actualize it. That is where your knowledge of Coreldraw comes in. That is where the knowledge of Photoshop comes in. So the main thing is what? The creativity concept. Now, look at it now. What I want is just this part. I just want this shape to cut off this part that is covering and give me this. Maybe it could be my logo. And my logo should not be a perfect cycle. It should just be like half of the cycle in this shape. Now, what I will do is that means this very one is a cutter. So this one will cut any section of that cycle that is covering will be cut off. That is what I want to do. That it will not leave only this section for me. So how do I do that? You highlight both of them together. Once you have placed them in the right order, you want it such that the shape you need is defined already. Just like now, I have seen the
So
shape.
how do you highlight it now?
Now, I just click somewhere here. Can you see where I'm placing now? I make sure that
Yes.
it is above two of them so that when I click and drag, it will cover both of them.
You just
Okay.
click at an empty space.
Yes, empty space. Now, the reason is yes, empty space. But if I click here now, look at where now. If I drag like this now, it's not covering two of them, so to not select
Mm.
anyone. So that's why I took it up, so that if I start from there, it will cover what? Everything.
Okay.
So that logic is a logic for selecting two or more objects at once. That is one way you can do that. If I don't know how to use this logic to select two or more objects, I'll click on the first one, press down your shift button on your keyboard, then select the other one. So I've done that. Did you get that? So
Yes.
it's either I go like this, or I select the first one, hold down the shift button on your keyboard, then select, even if there are other 20 objects, you can keep selecting them until you select the required what object. Now, the reason is that before the command can be applied, the two of them involved must be highlighted. That is why I'm selecting them first. Then you will now come here. Can you see this place? Word. Now, you are seeing all these commands because two objects are selected. If I step out now, you will not see them. They have gone. Do you notice that? Now, these are like shortcuts, but normally I am supposed to go to object, come to what? Come to shaping. Then look at the icon you were seeing there. Are they not the same? Look at the picture here. Look at the picture you are seeing here and the one you are seeing here. They are the same. So if you are smart, you can take advantage of them here without going through what? Object and coming to what? Shaping. Now, the one I want is trim. Why did I want trim? Because I want this cycle to trim off the aspect it's covering. And that trim is here. Look at it here. So just for us to establish it properly, let's go to object, go to shaping, and then select what? Trim. Now, if I take this one out, look at it. So which means that you use...
But if you choose it from the up, it will still give the same result.
Yes, the same result. Let me try it here. Look at it here. Let me bring it back. Let me be sure that I have returned it. Then I can place another one here. Remember, I just taught you how to duplicate, right? Remember how to duplicate. You go to what? Edit, right?
Edit.
Select what?
Yeah, copy.
Or just click on this
Go
direct.
back and do paste.
Good. Or don't waste your time. Just go straight here. Duplicate. So there's no point of copy and paste. Just say what? Duplicate. Now, I want to show you something. Now, I'll place this one here. I'll place this one here. This is the shape I want. This middle one. This middle one is what I want. So this one will trim off this side. Why this one will trim off what? This side. Now, I will select all of them first. Then this was the trim we used, right? We went to object before, and then we click on what? Shaping, and then we selected trim. Look at the icon. You know, you ask whether you can also achieve it from here. So I want to use this side section now. So if I click here now, look at what happened. If I take this one off, take this one out, this is what I am looking for as a graphic designer. This is the shape I want. So I just have to be creative. Okay, if I have a cycle and place one cycle to cover one section, place another one to cover the other section, highlight both of them, and trim, I will get the object. So this one, they are just drawing object. They are no longer needed, so I can delete them. But before then, if somebody comes here now and say, how did you got this? Now the person will be lost because I've removed what? The object. So what happened now? I just showed you that truly these are solution. All this, they are solution. We have consulted to now. We consulted copy and paste. Now I just consulted what? Shaping, right? And you saw what I did. So that confirmed that definition that I said the tabs, they are container of different what? Solution or command you need when you are working. Any question?
No.
Okay, so by the time you go through the video, you try to replicate it and master it. It's a gradual process. Okay, now, where did we stop? I think I've defined two sections now, right?
Yes.
How many of them? The first one, can you recap?
We did the application title bar.
Okay.
And the tab bar.
Okay. That is where we are now, right? Now, let's identify the third one, number 3. We are still talking about Coreldraw window features identification. So we are picking them one after the other and expatiating and explaining the role, what can a designer or a user of this app can actually access. Now, the third one is the standard toolbar, which is this place. The standard toolbar. That's number 3. The standard toolbar. Am I communicating? The standard what? Yes. Toolbar. Look at it here. Immediately after the tabs, the next section is called the standard toolbar. So how do we define this standard toolbar? Right. The standard toolbar project command shortcuts with the standard toolbar project command shortcut represented with shapes or icons. Represented with shapes or icons.
This project command shortcut.
Command shortcut represented with shapes or icons. That is why you will notice that their names, all these are functions. All these you are seeing here, they are functions.
With shapes and icons.
Yes. All these that I'm navigating at, they are function. This is a function. This is a function. This is a function. They are all function. But unfortunately, their names are not written on them. Their names are not written on them. Why? Because they are meant to represent commands as shortcuts. Look up here. Let me illustrate some of them. If I hover on this one now, what do you see there?
Where?
New, right? New. Now,
New.
that new is to add another document. If I click here now, it will bring out that. Remember when we started from here?
Yeah, where you set your
Or maybe I want to design another person's work. I can say, okay, this one is for ID card. So this is one client that I'm designing for. So I'm creating document for it. Then I'll now come here. ID card have a standard size, which is called business what? Card. And then since it's going to be a plastic design, so let me see equivalent to paper. So this is the standard size of what? ID card, which is also used for complementary card. Now, if I click here now, I want to watch. Look at it here. The two documents are here. Can you see it? So you can actually be working on two or more projects at the same time. You just want to create different documents. When you want to work here, you switch from here. They are all under what? Good. Now, you see that instead of me going to file, selecting new, I got that command from what? From the standard toolbar through the shortcut. Did you get the logic now? All this you are seeing, they are shortcuts of command that are inside this menu. This one is inside file. Let me show you another one. This is command shortcut for open. Are you with me? This is for opening your previous design. It is also under what? File. You can come to file and select what? Open. So if I don't want to come all the way to file, I can just take advantage of my, sorry, I mistakenly imported a design. Now I can just click here. This is the open. Instead of me going to file to come to open, if I know that, oh, this place, there's a place that I have the shortcut of those most used commands. There's no point of me going to file. I have it here. This is for open. You also have for save here. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, this is for save. This is for save, which means that I can as well say, I want to go to file and select what? Save. But if I understand that the shortcut is here, I won't waste my time. So all these are designed to enhance your work. Even in Microsoft Word, remember now, we did that now. We have the practical where we're having the command shortcut like bold, underline, the rest of them. So this session is, let me also show you some other things here. The way you view your interface. See, there are times that when you are working on Coreldraw, you struggle with viewing your object. Your object can disappear all of a sudden. When it happens, let me just try and do something like that. Look at this place. This is where I'm trying to explain now. It is called zoom level. Zoom level. So if I come here now and say what? Maybe to fit. You see the way it focused the object on my view. If I come here now, that is 125% view. Then if I come to 400, look at 400 view. So when you are working with this program, you don't need to stress your eyes. If there is a particular section you want to focus on, just zoom. Though we have a tool here called zoom tool. If I don't want to use this place, I can come here and highlight only on that section, just be bringing it closer to me, and right click to take it out. Left click is to zoom in. Now, this thing that you are seeing here now, that is what I tried doing here automatically from the standard toolbar. I'll just click here. I will just also come here and select, let's say 100%. Is that clear? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Okay, so now, once I am done explaining this section, I am going to pause, and then you design this object for me in the class. I will guide you. There's no issue. I'll guide you. Now, I just want to make sure that you do one practical before we end the session so that you'll be able to understand something to practice before the next class. So I have explained, what did I say is the name of this section? The standard word toolbar, right?
Standard toolbar.
Yes. So I've explained what you do here. I just want to touch the main thing. The
To
main
get the shortcome
good.
of some of the
Now,
application.
somebody after your design, somebody can say, okay, convert it to PDF. Probably does not have Coreldraw in his own system, or he want to read it through his phone. Send that design to me on what? PDF format. Look at it here. This is what? PDF. You see this icon? We are still
PDF.
on this bar just to show you some key things you can actually achieve there. So if I click here now, just watch. It's asking me where will it save the PDF. It has selected what? PDF what? Format already. So I was okay, keep it on desktop. With what name? With design. So if I click on save, now a PDF version has been created. So let's wait whether it's going to open it. If it doesn't, I will minimize and go to that desktop and check for that file. Let's check here. It should be here. This is it here. So if I double click on it now, it will open as PDF. Look at it. So which means that what? It is PostScript document file. If I send it to you while on transit, nobody can tamper with it. You cannot change it. So you have encrypted, you have a kind of lock the design so that when it's being sent across network, nobody can easily what? Tamper with it. Am I communicating? Are you still here? It's like your network is stopping now. Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I believe you understood what I did. So I just showed you how to convert your design to PDF. Okay, it's one of the formats that can be used to send design work to either printer or whatever. Though we still have JPEG, which we are going to learn later, JPEG and the rest of them, GIF. So now I want to show you one more thing before you do the practical, before we close. Now, one more thing I want to show you is this. I've explained what you can do here. I've explained what you can do here. I'm just targeting the main one because later we will know others. Now, you see this place is called grid. If I click here now, it will make the environment look like a cell, right? This is like a cell environment. So there's a reason. The reason is that as a designer that want to sketch, you need lines to guide you while sketching. So if I come to tools like this, for example, Bezier 2, just an illustration, we are still going to touch all this later. But I just want us to, I'm just trying to do something meaningful so that you can practice before the next class. Now, if I come here now and select, Bezier, I click on this Bezier. Now look at what the Bezier is going to help me to do with the lines that I just activated. This is where I click to bring out the line. So now, if I click here now, with the help of this line, I'll point here. I'm trying to trace a shape. So it's for shape tracing. Now, if I don't have this line, it wouldn't be easier for me to trace this shape. Let's say I want this shape like this. I want it like this. And then I want it like this. And then probably you come back to where it started from. Now, it's because we zoom. Let's zoom out so that we can see very well. Look at this. Look at the shape. Now, let me remove the line. Click there again to remove the line, then zoom. You see the shape I created. So let me increase it so that you can see it very well because it appeared too small. That is why. So if I want to create this shape,
The shape did not close. That is why I'm not able to give it color. So if I go back now and say, okay, click here and click here, it will just bring out the color because that was the place that it was not close. So now, if I pick this same tool and I say, okay, on this plain background, without bringing this line, on this same background, I want to get this shape, it will be difficult for me. You can see what I'm trying to, it will be difficult. So those lines are there to help you to trace as an object. So they are lines you can bring out temporarily. Once you are done using them to get the object you want to trace, then you can turn them off. So this is where you click. Once clicking is to turn it on, another clicking is to turn it off. So this is where I will stop. Then we have 10 minutes to 9. So what you are going to do for me is your classwork. I will guide you. You share your screen, and then you share your screen, and then you try to achieve these objects. Remember, I created 3 cycle, position them, then trim. So yeah, you can start now.
Have you accepted
Yes, I have
my screen
already
now?
enabled you to share. You are already sharing. I can see your screen already.
You say you have opened your Coreldraw before.
I've not opened, but I have.
No, Hope is not, hold on, so that you don't get it expired. Hope is it a trial version that you have or a licensed version?
Is it
If
not
it
this
is,
one?
if it is a trial version, if it's a trial version you have, if you open it while your internet is on, it will expire. They will block it now. So if it is not a
What do you mean
license,
by expired version?
how did you install it? Where did you install it?
Normally, the way I installed the other one is the person that brought the computer install it for me.
I'm not sure that the one he installed is a trial version. Because if it is not a trial version, you will spend about $139 to buy it. Is that what you spent?
No.
Good, which means that is a trial version. If he did not collect such amount of money from you, it means that he did not purchase a licensed version. It's a crack version. So now, if it's a crack version, if you're on the internet and you open it, they will catch you and then they will block it. So it will not require you reinstalling. So what you do is this. You just have to log out first. Just turn off your Wi-Fi, your internet. Just place your computer on air mode. Then highest you log in again. So once you put it on air mode, then you load the Coreldraw first. After you have loaded the Coreldraw, then you turn on the internet. So I'll be waiting for you.
Where is the A mode? Okay, the A mode.
Yes.
Okay.
Click on that airplay mode. Airplay mode. Look at airplay mode somewhere there. It will turn off your internet too, but just take your time to turn on the Coreldraw before you come back. So once the Coreldraw is loaded, then you can now load your Zoom again. Are you there?
He was asking me already purchased that I should put the uh, uh,
You can see you are using a different version. You are using a higher version. My own is 2018. Your own is 2020. That is why the interface look a little bit different. So click on Get Started.
okay.
Click on Get Started. Good. Now you click on New Document. So you can see your own now. You have to click on Get Started before you could see New Document. That was in my first interface. Once you click now, I believe you now understand. Oh, just hold on. Good. So that has taken you to this, but it did not give you room to name. So you have to go to File and Save so that you can name the document. Go to File, go to File, go to File, File, click on File, select Save as. Select save as. Select save as. Okay, hold on. Now select where you want to save. Click on desktop. Don't select OneDrive. Or will you like to save it on OneDrive, depending on you?
Desktop is okay.
Okay, or you have to change that place you have on title 1 to design or whatever you want to. Now you click on save. Click on save. Click on save. All right, now you can see that the name has appeared there, just like mine. Now, Oya, create the 3 cycle. Create 1 cycle, then you duplicate it like I did quickly. I just want to complete this task with you before I end the section. Just click on it and leave that place. Click on it and leave. Good. Oya, hold it down and drag. Just like the way you were working with shape on Microsoft Word. I remember we did a little bit graphics there. Click and drag, click and drag. Let it open like a full cycle. Good. It's okay. It's okay. Just leave it like that. Now, go and click on the first 2 before you give it color. The first one, that pick 2. Up, up, up. Where you pick that cycle, the very first 2 at the top that look like a pointer. No, 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 no. Down, down a little. Up, up. The next one, no. The first one in that row, that column, the first 2 at the top. No, that is not the first 2. The next one up is the first 2. Yes, it's called pick 2. We are going to understand that better in our next class. So once you have created an object, you click on it before you go for color. Or you click on it and go and pick a color. No, you are still on once you are still seeing that over, you have not discontinued the over 2. Click on that pick 2, it will come, or you go and pick color. Good. Go and pick color. Pick any color. Fine. Now, duplicate it. Go to edit. Go to edit. Then select copy, or you just go straight to duplicate, or you go back there. Select paste this time around. Paste. Perfect. Now move it out. It's there. Just take it out. Take it away from it. Just to as if you are moving out the object you just duplicated. Good. Or you drag it out. Good. Drag it out. Drag it out. Leave it there. Now copy another one. Go and use duplicate. Go and use duplicate option like I use. No. Edit again. Perfect. Duplicate. Click. All right. Now take the other one to the other side, just like I did the other time. Take it to the other side. No. Once. No, no, no. No, no. The other side by your left. Drag it. Good. Leave that space there. Good. That space is what we want to get. Okay? The one at the middle is what we want to get. That is the concept. Now highlight 3 of them quickly. Highlight 3 of them. From where you are now, drag, hold it down and drag. Let it cover 3 of them. No, you can't cover 3 of them. Look at it. Stay where you can touch 3 of them, where the thread can cover 3 of them. You only cover 2. Okay, I think that place, good, perfect. Perfect. Okay, now drop. Now go to, or use the icon. Let's follow the right way first. Go to Object, Menu. Go to Object tab. Click on it. Now select Shaping. Select Shaping. Go down, you will see Shaping. Then click on Trim. Click on Trim. Click on Trim. Have you selected Trim? Now, move away the other one. Move the first one out so that we can have that shape. Click and drag it out. Perfect. Move the other one out. Perfect. Now, change the middle one color to red. Let me know if you can do that. Select it and go for color. You are still on the pick tool. No, you have to click on it first. You have to click on the object. That is not the one you have to give color. Good. Go for the red color. Go for the red color. Go for the red color. All right. So that is all about that. Any question?
No.
Any question? Do you have question? Your battery is low. Do you have question? We are rounding off anyway. Hello, do you have question? Okay, so we stop there.